If you've seen my videos, you know that I don't do actually much to the drums. It's all about choosing the right kicks and snares. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with the hi-hats. This is a double hi-hat. If you guys noticed, I love using double hi-hats. It's actually one hi-hat, but I'm doubling it, right? So if you go into program edit, get there into the program edit, let's go into the samples right there. You see I have the same actual, it says it's a snare, but it's not a snare, it's a hi-hat. This is the sample, has a snare then a hi-hat. So I just picked that hit. And you actually, if you go here to this screen, you'll see that one of the hits is delayed. So this is the offset screen. So I have the same sample on both layers, but this one is delayed by a little bit. It gives you that effect of a double hi-hat. Right, so I use that quite a lot. I really like double hi-hats. It just gives a lot of groove to the beat, a lot of swing. And you can, if you go to the program edit again, you can change the offset. It will give you a different swing to the hi-hats. Right. And I'm also changing the volume of each sample. So, you know, the one that's delayed, it has a lower volume. So like that is very robotic. If you lower it a little bit, it'll give you a swing. Right, that's it. So now we have here the levels, and you can change that a little bit. I didn't actually for this beat, I just made it today. So this is the random screen. It will randomize your hits. So this will randomize the volume of your hits. So just play with that and see how it sounds. It will just humanize your hits. So it's very useful to have that. You could offset this as well. I don't really like using it because it goes both ways on the offset. So if it would just go one way, I might use that. And if you go to the offset, you'll see what I mean is that it will, you know, randomize both ways. And this way it will just chop the sample if you put it this way. So I don't like using the offset here for that. So just keep it like that. Then we have the kick. So that's my kick. I don't have any effects on the kick or anything. I do have one thing on this one. This is another kick. And if I have a high pass on it, so that's the kick. But if I high pass it, I just keep the top end and then I'm mixing it with this kick, right? So this one has a bit more meat in the low end. I like that. I could increase that a little bit, but I'm just happy the way it sounds right now. And I'm just layering this with that top end. So you're listening actually right now to both kicks at the same time because I'm using the simultaneous play right there, C6. It's that pad. If I take it off, that high end goes away. Okay, so that's me just layering kicks and just giving a different flavor to that kick. Okay, and I've been using the step sequencer quite a lot, but you get a different flavor when you use the step sequencer. It's just so easy to design a drum loop in here. I've been using it lately for the past week because I'm just really having fun. But the thing is, you kind of end up having a different flavor. These type of drum loops are different from my previous ones, so there's nothing wrong with that. Just so you know, I'm aware that using this will change the way my drums sound. Just the swing will sound a bit different, and just the overall flavor changes a little bit, because you know you have so much control over where to put your kicks and your snares and stuff like that, that you end up just, you know, it ends up sounding a bit different. So that's it. I've been using the step sequencer a lot for the kicks mostly, but you can also do it for the snares. And if we go here to my other sequence, let's go here, that one, you'll see that I have a few more snares in here. Yeah, and you can just really start doing stuff like that. That sounded really good. Just those steps right there. So that's the beauty of step sequencing, is that you can so quickly find ways of adding in notes, right? So really amazing workflow. At the same time, I wish it could have a bit more control over the steps. Another way of writing ghost notes is that sometimes I really like just copying my kicks. Okay, so copy that, do it. I have that, and I write my ghost notes on a different pad, just because I can nudge just the ghost notes. It's just I might want to filter the ghost note. I might want to add another effect to the ghost note, or just high pass it a little bit, or whatever it is. Just I like having more control over my ghost notes. So yeah, I go a bit deep into drumming and into swing, so I like having everything separated. But because I'm using the step sequencer now for this week, I actually kind of stopped using this method, right? Because I can easily put the ghost notes in the step sequencer. So if I go to the step sequencer, select the pad, right? I can easily put ghost notes. These are all ghost notes right there. Let me get back to the first one. Right, and another one right there. Right, so those will be the ghost notes. Right, can barely hear them, but they're giving you that groove, that swing. You could also set the swing, right? You can set a swing to all this, and the ghost notes will shift to that swing. Snares, that's the last thing. Obviously it has a reverb in it, and I don't know if it's layered or not. Let's see what I have here. Normally the snares, I like to shift them before, right? But in this beat, I actually kept them on the grid. And I suppose there's a high pass on the snare as well, because sometimes I like to take the low end from the snares. I don't like that. It's too much. Like, it's the bass, it's the kicks, it's the sample. Everything's like sharing a bit of low end, so I just shave it off. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. And unless we go here, I think there's something in the yeah. So there's filters. The kick doesn't have any filter. Nothing has any filter except for the snares here. If we, okay, is adding a bit of high end to this, so those high frequencies are coming in. And I did it because of this, because my program, if you notice, it has a filter and an enhancer. So I'm going to just leave the effects on here. Let me solo the drums. Okay, so just the drums. So what I did here, and I do this normally, I mean, don't follow what I do. I'm just crazy like that. I like adding filters to everything. And like there's an enhancer right here. and let's just go through the enhancer. This is for the entire program, which means the drums. So I'm adding the drums to one program. These are the drums, then my samples are on another program. So in this program I have just those hits, right? And I'm adding an enhancer to that drum program. Just because I like that low end. So there's a low end coming in right here, okay? So I'm adding that, and then I'm actually shaving off the top end. Just by a little bit. Like there's a cut, a low pass cut on the 8 kilohertz, right? And adding a bit of resonance in there, it sounds good like that. And that's the reason why I pushed up the snare, because I cut a lot of that top end of the drums in the program. The snare wasn't cutting through as much, so I went back into the program and just pushed up the resonance in that area, actually using a low pass again to cut the snare, but then pushing the resonance up, so that will bring up that frequency that I want from the snare. Right. It's probably like a crazy way of working with drums, but I really have no formula or anything. I usually like working with filters, but that's about it. So this is what's on my drums. I rely heavily, and what you're hearing to now is not just the sound of the MPC. This is running through my electron heat and then my external gear as well. So that's pretty much it. Apart from this, I have nothing on my master out. As I said, I rely on my external gear to add compression and to glue everything together and make it into one piece that sounds like it comes from the same place. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of the drums, which doesn't have almost anything. It's just the way I groove the drums, and that's mostly it. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.